Many of the most popular names on the high street are actually franchises. But alongside these legitimate businesses, one franchise opportunity turned out to be a fake that sent one man bankrupt and caused another to lose his home.
Franchising is big business in the UK. There are more than 900 brands turning over £12.5 billion and employing 500,000 people. That's more than the Army, Navy and Air Force put together. It's more than the city of Leicester.
Taking on a franchise can be a great way to start up your own business without shouldering all the risks by yourself.
It's a proven business system which you know works in the marketplace, and you're going to get continuing support to help you through those very hard early days.
So when a knee injury meant Tony Falsham had to give up his job as an electrical contractor, he jumped at the opportunity to invest in a new loyalty card franchise called UK WebSaver. He had no idea it was actually built on a pack of lies that would turn his life upside down.
I saw this as a chance, and I thought, the economic climate as it is, people are going to want to save money.
The franchise idea was a loyalty card scheme for the local area. Residents could buy a card and use it to get discounts in their local shops. Shops would pay to join up and advertise on the UK WebSaver site. Each franchisee would buy the rights to sell the scheme in their postcode area and then make money from the sales of cards and advertising. Tony went to Leicester to meet Simon Rickett and Dylan Boyvin, the two company directors, and he was impressed.
Very, very plush offices, very, very good presentation. They'd already got all the answers that I was asking.
Rickett and Boyvin said they had already signed deals with big brands like Harrods, Asda, Boots and Currys.
They showed me a business plan. They showed me other franchisees who were making a living at it. And I was just blown away with this. It couldn't fail. It couldn't fail.
At the time, Tony lived in Sheffield, so to ensure maximum success, he decided to buy the franchise for the entire Sheffield area. It cost him £75,000, which he paid for from the sale of a house he had inherited from his mum, who had recently passed away. Tony rented offices and hired a team of salespeople. He supplied them with computers, cars and phones, all costing him an additional £90,000.
I wanted a professional setup. I wasn't going to play at this. I was going to do things properly.
Tony also had to pay a management fee of £500 a month to Boyvin and Rickett. In total, his investment cost him around £185,000.
I didn't look at the end of my nose. I thought, long term, this is going to last me for years to come.
Someone else looking to the future was Angus Kirby from Worthing. Angus had been living in France, but had recently returned to the UK and was looking for a new business opportunity.
I've always heard that 80% of franchises succeed and 20% fail, but of the own businesses, 80% fail and 20% succeed. So I thought I'd have a far better opportunity to succeed, by going into a franchise.
Like Tony, Angus was won over by the UK WebSaver sales pitch and decided to buy the franchise for his home area of Worthing and Littlehampton. With franchise fees and expenses, Angus paid over £12,000, which he financed by taking out extra credit cards and extending his overdraft. Angus was optimistic that he'd soon be making a living and would be able to pay the money back.
I completely believe that was possible because they said they had already done it before. They had signed up a number of other franchisees, so it certainly seemed from what they were saying that this was a completely achievable opportunity.
Later, we'll find out how the so-called opportunity turned into a nightmare.
The financial impact for myself was catastrophic.
Tony Falsham and Angus Kirby both invested in a franchise opportunity, selling a loyalty card scheme to local businesses. They'd set up their companies, done the training, and now it was time to get out there and start selling. But something was wrong.
We walked down to every shop and every street, and we spent every day, hours every day. It became apparent quite quickly that something was fundamentally wrong.
The guys were going out, they were spending all day out there. They were just batting their heads against brick walls.
My total sales over that time was absolutely zero. Wasn't able to get a single company to sign up.
Despite putting in all their time and effort, neither Angus nor Tony was making any money.
So we started giving it away for free. By this time, I still hadn't earned a penny, and my own finances were fast dwindling. So I'm looking at my bank account and I'm thinking, this is crackers.
With no income, Tony was forced to put bills and expenses onto his credit cards. His debts grew to £30,000. Fearing for his financial security, he started asking questions.
I managed to find some other franchisers. Introduced myself as the owner of the S postcode, and I said, how are you going? They said, you know what, Tony, we're not doing it, we're not selling.
Angus had been puzzling over the problem for 6 months, but finally the pieces fell into place.
It then became obvious to me that, they completely falsified all their sales projections and forecast figures, and it was just mechanically impossible to do the things that they were saying. You couldn't achieve the numbers that they were outlining at the beginning.
It seemed UK WebSaver had deceived them both, and the issue soon came to the attention of Trading Standards.
We looked at 75 complainants. They paid on average $11,500 for franchises. So, as you can imagine, this was a big operation and the amounts of money were very significant. We found that the company hadn't done any research, as they said. They hadn't done any pilots to show that it was a proven business model, as they said. They hadn't got contracts with large high street names such as Harrods, Boots, Asda. So therefore, that makes it fraud in my eyes.
Rickett and Boivin had deliberately misled franchisees who would never have signed up if they'd known the truth.
I was promised high money. I was promised other people were doing it. I was promised a business plan that couldn't fail. And all these promises, they were all empty promises.
Rickett and Boivin were charged with fraud. They pleaded guilty and were given a 12-month suspended jail sentence and 250 hours of community service. But it was too late for Angus and Tony. Supporting a family for months with no income had left Angus in dire straits, and he decided to cancel the franchise agreement.
The financial impact for myself was catastrophic. At that point, I didn't have any funds, available to me. I had credit cards stacked up to the sky. I had my overdrafts were all fully exhausted. I had to get a job. Had to get any job.
The amount of money Angus owed had grown to around £80,000, and he had no choice but to sell the family home in order to clear the debts.
It's quite hard to come back and to look at it and to realise it's been taken away from you, which it has been taken away.
Tony lost all the money he'd inherited from his mum. He shut the company down and was forced to declare himself bankrupt. He's since started a new life in South Wales.
The redeeming thing is, I might have lost the money, but my poor old mum is not alive to see this, because my mum would have been horrified if she'd have seen this. She would have been horrified, but, we live to fight another day.
That's all from Fake Britain today. Bye for now.